welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with the initial round of 16 and quarterfinals match. Clem did take down Scarlet to advance onto the semis to face off against Cure in a best of 5. This is something unique to this tournament. PiGosaur Cup, for those that are curious, is a weekly tournament. Every single week it's an open cup, one of the many open cups that we do have on a regular basis. But what is unique about PiGosaur Cup is, unlike all the other open cups, it does have best of 5s in the semifinals. Typically, it is standard for every other open cup to have best of 3s, best of 3 semis into best of 5 finals, but for PiGosaur Cup it's best of 5 semis into best of 5 finals as well. So more games, more best of 5s are available here, and we are jumping into our fresh series. It's going to be a PvT between Clem and Cure. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. For those that maybe are a little bit less familiar with StarCraft or less familiar with our players, you might be looking at this and be thinking, hold up, Clem, wasn't he playing Terran? Why is he Protoss? Clem, he has not played a TvT in over a year. Straight up, it's been over a year since Clem has played Terran versus Terran. He did switch to Protoss last year, end of last year, and has been sticking with Protoss specifically for this matchup. Let's go in. Let us jump on in. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, the French Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. We are jumping in. No exactly unknown ESL Open Cups, semifinals of best of 5s at one point. How was Pappy? That was a bygone. That's a bygone era, Pappy. That's but yes, at one point they were semis. At one point, I think in the grand lifespan of ESL Open Cups, they were not best of 5s, but there was a brief period where they were. If I remember correctly, I believe the players did a petition to move them to best of 3s because the tournaments were lasting too long. And if I remember correctly, I believe that is why they switched back to best of 3s in the semis. If I'm remembering my timeline correctly. But here we go. So far, double gas opener out of Cure. Meanwhile, we do have a standard opener out of Clem. So we are building up. But yes, coming into this Clem, he has some of the best PvT in the world. You can definitely argue that he has like probably top 3, sometimes even top 2. There's only one Terran player that Clem hasn't beaten, and that is when it comes to the top Terran players in the world, and that is Maru, only because they've never played. I say that technically recently they did play on the ladder, but like they've never played in tournaments. Like so that doesn't count. They've never played in tournaments. They have hit each other on the ladder before. Recently. As we are settling in. Again, delayed CC out of Cure, going for the faster factory into faster tech, and we'll see where this tech takes us. Whether we go into Reaper Hellion, if we go into early Cyclone, if we go into early Banshee play, eyes are on Cure. As Clem's going into his tech of choice. When it comes to Clem's playstyle in PvT, it's very mid-game oriented, and it's very rare to see Clem not go Twilight Council. The other Protoss players like Hero, Classic, and Max Packs, they are willing to mix in Stargate openers if need be, but Clem typically sticks with Twilight Council, but he does mix it up when it comes to how many gateways. Sometimes, oh, Cure. Okay, calm down, Pappy, calm down. Leave the critters alone. But Clem, he is known to mix it up into 2 Gape Link, 3 Gape Link, or 4 Gape Link Stalker. But before I get ahead of myself talking about what Clem is going for, Cure, he goes for a very fast 3rd CC. So greedy build here by Cure, opening up fast factory, delayed, natural, but a very fast 3rd base. So hyper greed out of Cure. And we'll see if he can get away with it. Now, when a Terran player goes for a fast 3rd base like this, as he did open up Triple Reaper, diving into the main base, distracting Clem, and looking for some economic damage. Let's get 1 probe. Let's get 1. And gets a full scout, confirms the tech of choice. Gets a second probe towards the end. Oh no! A bit of miscontrol here. A bit of miscontrol here by Clem, who was distracted by the Hellions. Yeah, Hellions are diving to the natural base. That will allow for potentially yet another couple of probes going down, getting up to 4 probe kills. Nice harass out of Cure. Very nice harass. What we were getting at is when the Terran player does rush into a fast third base like this, they have a very big power spike in the mid game. You won't really see the power spike until the third base is claimed though. This allows for faster 2-base saturation and of course faster 3-base saturation as well. And once they get into their third base, they will have a big power spike in terms of supply. Meanwhile, Clem does break out across the map. Cure is in position to delay the third. And Clem is going for the Prism. I believe he only has 3 gates. So 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink out of the Cure. Sorry, out of Clem. Oh. Takes down both Hellions. And Clem is being hyper aggressive here. And not as aggressive as 4-gate blink, but going for the Prism. Clem, he is looking for some counter damage. He knows he's sustained quite a bit. Clem has yet to scout the build of choice. But a good option to commit like this. He moves out, he expands. Clem pokes in. Pokes in, tank is in position. Does get out of range. Ooh. Gets baited in. Oh no! Yeah, the Prism taking a lot of damage. But so far it's going to be 2-3 ACV kills. Tank is on siege. Does he dive on the tank? He gets a Cyclone. It does take down the Cyclone. A little bit late there to pick up, but 1 Stalker does get picked off. But so far a better trade for Clem. Clem losing 1 Stalker for 3 SCVs and a Cyclone. And also he scouted the 3rd CC. True, that was the most important part. He knows. So Clem, he now knows how greedy Cure is being. How does he react? How does he respond? Oh, as he, Jesus, tries to blink in. Gets 1 SCV. There's 2 bunkers here on the low ground. The Cure, he's ready for 4-gate blink Stalker. But again, Clem, he reacts with double forge. Double forge, double upgrades. He reacts with his own greed. Still looking for damage. We'll lose 1 Stalker. Lose 2 Stalkers. Miscontrol here by Clem. He does overextend. Does get 3 SCVs, but these were more expensive losses here for Clem, more expensive trades. As Clem rushes into a 4th. Yeah, you can see here the 3rd isn't even saturated, by the way, but he just rushed into the 4th base. And again, the reasoning for this is because he needs he wants to try to keep up with the greed of the Terran. So economically, he's keeping up. Getting his 4th base before the 3rd even lands. As you can see, Cure is building up that SCV count. More Stalkers move out. So again, Clem, ideally he wants to try to slow down this 3rd base, but there's just so much army to work with here. The Observer does spot the army, and Clem, you can try to bully, at least pick up a Marine. Gets 1. Gets 2. Okay. 3 Marine kills. Very nice. Jesus. Does blink away in time. Does get out, but very nice pickoffs here. You can see the Cure, he noticed, like, hold on, how do you see where I am? Did scan. Snipe the Observer. But nice pickoffs by Clem. Nice pickoffs overall. Cure, he breaks out. Back at home, Clem, he's taking up in towards Colossus. The Bay is on the way. Colossus are in production. But Cure, he's now broken free, and he's now active on the map. As he moves out, Clem moves in. Going for a Zealot drop. Not really much here to work with, though. Clem, I mean. Gets 1 SCV. Ooh, Cure, he's going for the 4th. Clem is out of position. Tanks will siege up within range of the Nexus. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, and he will lose it. He'll lose it instantly. Massive pickup. I say that. Diving on the tanks. Can he save the base? The surround. Tanks will go down. Massive pickup. Warping is coming in as well. And no shot. Clem, he surrounds the army. Cleans up the tanks. Zones away the army. And he barely saves the expansion. That was like 1 or 2 seconds away from going down, by the way. You saw how fast it was being focused down by the army. By Cure. But no, Clem, he will barely save it. We need 1 more warp in. There we go. Zeltra on the way. And Clem holds. This base should be dead. Like, the Nexus should not be here. It should not be here. Ay, ay, ay. Curie's gonna keep going. He's got to keep going, Pappy. As targeting the Colossus has arrived, and Clem holds. Yeah, like now with the arrival of the Colossus, Cure cannot break this position, not anymore. The push has failed, and Clem enjoys a greater economy. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Cure, he was within range, was in position, he was target firing. When Clem engaged Cure, he had to switch to the army as a result, and Clem had a very nice round, to be fair. Very nice round. That was very clutch. With that, Clem, he takes map control away from Cure. Cure races back home, and now we're building up into the mid game. Building up into the mid game here. Clem building on more Colossus. Cure switching into Viking production alongside Ghost. And remember, we spoke about this. We spoke about how when Cure takes his third base, he's meant to have a big power spike. I mean, that was the power spike. Like, that was... and he doesn't really have it anymore. Cure is meant to have a supply lead. As Clem is now switching up into Disruptors. So initially, Colossus as the backbone of the army, now into Disruptor production. Second Robo's on the way. Building up those Novas. So I love how Clem off raises his toss to avoid TvT, such a boss. I mean, at this point, I don't know if the phrase off race is applicable to Clem anymore. I would say that if Clem played Terran in TvT, that would be off racing at this point. Like, I would say that like that'd be like Clem in a weaker position. Clem is main racing back. For this matchup, of course. Like, as Clem is rotating, does find his way up the ramp. Oh. Tries to at least. So far, it's a hefty Viking count, zoning away those Colossi. But remember, more Disruptors have now arrived, up to 3 Disruptors. We're going to keep our eye on those Novas. As again, Clem is getting map control. He's getting his 5th base, his 6th base. Like Clem, he has full map control. He's going to be building up his bank. Containing Cure. Here comes the first Nova. Oh my god, massive connection. Yeah, Nova goes up. Second Nova mainly zones. And Cure is being bullied back. This is the one more Nova available. Nice EMPs. Nice EMPs. Final Colossus does fall. And Nova was premature. But the first Nova now comes off cooldown. Once again, mainly zones away. One Nova left. Oh my god. Another massive connection. And Clem is done. Clem, he has broken Cure. Breaks through the defensive line. Boys are being pulled. Another Nova. A massive connection on the Marines, on the Marauders as well, on everything. The Novas are too good, Pappy. Yeah, they're too good. Clem, he overwhelms, takes down 23 ACVs. GG gets called, and Clem takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Clem, he does take a lead in the series. A very, very intense game number 1 here. Winding it back, this wasn't necessarily one-sided. Cure, he was holding his own. Remember, Cure, he went for a very greedy opener into a very fast 3rd CC, and he built up into that massive 3-base push. And I'll say it again, he was meant to kill the 4th base should be dead. The 4th base should have died then and there. Like Cure, he was able to siege up within range. You saw how quickly like the health was falling, was dropping on that Nexus. But Clem, he was able to get the surround going. He was able to engage in time. He just barely saved the base, and that swung everything in Clem's favor. Once the Colossus arrived, the aggression had ended, and Cure was contained on 3 bases. He was just, from that moment, he was contained on 3 bases. Clem, he was able to mass expand, getting his 5th, his 6th base, max out, getting into Disruptors, and just bully Cure as Cure tried and failed to defend his 3rd base. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very impressive hold there by Clem to survive and to defend that 4th base. Like, that was the game-winning moment for Clem, was saving that 4th base the way that he was able to. As again, like, I can't believe he did. In my brain, I was like, oh no, it's dead. It's like, there's no shot. Crazy. GG, well played. With that, Clem takes the lead, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Just catching up in the chat. Share my papi, share my. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We still got a couple of hours left for Christmas here in Australia. It is 10 p.m. A little bit more. Thanks for Ducklings and the whole team for the stream. Ah, thank you, Tree SC2. Thank you. Do appreciate it. And also thank you so much for the bits. Thank you so much for the bits in the chat. Gracias, papi, gracias. We are diving into game number 2 of this best of 5, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the French Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is a Clem. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid as well as their teammates. It is a Cure. Here we go. Now as we get into this, a big shout out to Trigger in the chat. God, papi, God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Trigger, for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Happy Halloween, papi. Ah, let's go. Don't stay out too late trick-or-treating, and take care of yourself, papi. Take care. Enjoy your Easter eggs. Este Trigger. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream here. A great ladder session. Shout out to Trigger, by the way. Trigger, he did invest recently into a webcam, and now he has finger cam, so you can look at his fingers while he plays. Este Trigger. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. So here we go. I see in the chat, did any Protoss ever try doing manual charge on Zealots, like trying to prevent them from wasting it? Yes. Oh, I say that. Very often, there are moments where you see, obviously, hold position micro to make sure the Zealots don't overextend and don't push too far forward, to make sure that they don't get thrown away. Likewise, there's also been times where players do intentionally retarget the Zealot charge. So, fun fact, it's a bit of a, is this like a Fear Dragon useful fun fact? But technically, if you have a Zealot and you target a unit and it rushes forward and uses his charge, mid-charge, you can reselect your target and the Zealot just keeps charging forward and can like retarget to a unit that's a little bit further back, and you can try to set up a surround. Like, there are ways to like mess with that, and we have seen that from time to time. Especially in TvP, when you don't want your Zealots to overextend, right? Specifically when it comes to pulling them back. You see it as well in PvP, just because Chargel Archon Immortal is a very Stalker is a very common composition, and likewise you don't want to throw your Zealots away into Archons. So ideally you want to hold your Zealots back and be a little bit more careful with them, be a little bit more attentive to them before committing in. But yeah, there are some wild like clips out there when it comes to Zealots and what you can do with them. Infinite charge. Don't let the Zergs and Terrans know. There are clips out there. There are clips. But yes, you can retarget mid-charge. For now, though, Cure is going for a classic 3 ranks. Okay. So hyper aggression out of Cure. I say classic 3 racks, not necessarily. Sorry, it's racks into factory into a 2nd and 3rd racks. Hyper aggression out of Cure. Cure, this looks like a 2-base all-in. Does look like the beginnings of a 2-base all-in. The initial Reaper Hellion does perk out. So far the shield battery is ready, is in position, and Clem is holding as natural. So far so good. Now winding it back and focusing on the build of choice here, Cure, he's opting to delay the starport. Heavily delayed starport in favor of not just marine production but early stim. So early stim, early tanks, there's a high chance you just pull the boys. You just pull the boys with this as well. You commit, you just double down, send everything across the map. A hyper aggressive build here by Cure. Now you can macro out of this and get a starport into a very late 3rd TC, but if we see no starport momentarily, oh, so yes, if he gets in position, keep an eye on Cure. just depot. But if there's no starport in the next couple of moments here, then we do expect Cure to just send everything across the map. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground. Orleans do make sense on Ruby Rock. They also make sense on Tourmaline and even on 10,000 feet. There are these smaller maps in the map pool that favor aggression. You have less time to react, less time to respond, and your bases are less defendable as well. How does Clem open up? 2 gateways in the main base. We have 1 gateway with a natural, 3-gate blink into a 3rd base. Same build, 2 games in a row. Is the same build, and we'll see if Clem can scout what's going on. So far, he's playing blind. So far, Clem is in the dark. Warps in extra stalkers. He's making his way into the main base, and he should get eyes on the production. Yep, blinks in. He sees production. He sees all 3 reactors. He knows. He's aware. Oh. Does bit of miscontrol there. 1 stalker goes down. So we'll lose 1 stalker for a handful of marines. Not the best trade from Clem, but at least he gets a full scout. At least he knows what's coming his way. And we'll see if Cure does pull the boys. As here comes Cure. You can see Clem trying to engage ahead of time, trying to slow this down. Yeah, stalkers are coming from behind. They do get 1 marine. Not even. Tanks do siege. Nice trap. Ooh, massive tank shot. Gets 1 of the stalkers. Reaper Hellion gets across the map. And again, Clem, he is in trouble right now. He needs time. Charge is on the way. He needs time back. Gets a marine. Gets 1 marine. Here come reinforcements. Up. We see Clem catching out some of the Reapers. 3 Reapers do get picked up. And Cure doesn't pull the boys. He's taking gases. So Cure keeps transitioning out of this. He's taking up into the starport, a very late starport. Tanks, they get within range of the Nexus. And can Clem have a miracle defense here? I mean, the Marine army has been stifled. There's not that many Marines. Charge is done. Has he bought enough time? He has. Yeah, he has bought enough time. He blinks on 4, dives on the tanks. We'll get 1, 2, 3 tanks go down, but it's not enough. Not enough here. The reinforcements have arrived for Cure. He sims on in. Punishes the stalkers. Oh my god, losing another tank. We'll lose another tank. Cure, he's running out of steam here. He needed those tanks. Without them, he cannot break the 3rd. No shot. No shot. Clem is holding, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Let's pick up micro. Clem saving those zealots. He breaks out. He saves the 3rd base. No shot. Ay, ay, ay. Takes down both Hellions. Picking up free Marines and free Marauders. Remember, there are no medevacs. Remember, this was all done without the starport. That's why there's no medevac support. That's why there's no way to save these units. So massive losses there for Cure. And Clemmy commits. No bunker. Yeah, no bunkers, no tanks, no nothing. Clemmy's here to end the game. He's here to end it. So the boys are being pulled. Curie's getting desperate. GG gets called. There's nothing to defend, and Clem, he will maintain his lead. Now up 2-0. GG. GG, well played. We'll take a 2-0 lead. In my brain, I thought this was the best of 3. My apologies. It is a best of 5, true. The series will continue, but Cure, he's up against the wall. And what's scary here, what's a little bit disheartening, is that these games, like, Cure's had a lot of potential. Game 1, we spoke about it. Cure, he was meant to have broken the 4th base, and he barely failed to break the 4th. Here it's very similar. He was able to siege up within range of the 3rd, but he failed to kill the 3rd base. This time it was a little bit different. I should give credit to Clem. Clem did successfully delay the push. He delayed the push. He was able to slow it down thanks to the Stalkers and thanks to the Warp Prism. Remember, Clem, he wasn't killing a lot of units. He killed like 3 Marines, I want to say. It wasn't about killing the units, though. It was about buying time. He was forcing sieges. He was forcing the army to back off, to chase the Stalkers, to chase the Prism. Every second did count, because as every second passed, that was 1 step closer to charge. Remember, charge was not even halfway done by the time that Cure was pushing across the map, and Clem bought the time he needed for charge and for the first Immortal as well. So GG, well played. Clem was able to buy enough time. He was able to survive, defend, shut down the push, save the 3rd base, and snowball out of control from there. And now we're loading into game number 3. Going to be loading into Winter Madness. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into our next game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the French Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0. It is Clem. Hello. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, setting out his first SEV. It is Cure. Hello. As the SCV does move out on its own, from here we can avoid the main scouting path and go for the eBay block here at the natural. Oh no, just going straight for the racks. Okay. Does go for the proxy at the third location. So he sets up his proxy. Clem is going to go for his probe scout. Clem, he should scout that the racks is missing. So Clem, he's going to get an idea as to what's going on. When it comes to this matchup, it is not uncommon to hide your ranks further back in the main base, at the natural location, at the third base location. So it's on Clem to determine what is going on. As he goes in and he sees the ranks is nowhere to be found. Confirms both gases. Clem trying to get eyes on any kind of follow-up. Reaper production has begun. Not the most committed proxy, by the way. Like, there's no tech lab, there's no second racks. But this has potential to get some probe kills. As Clem is not going for the zealots. So there's going to be a window. There's going to be a window in time where Clem has no gateway units, and this Reaper has free reign of the economy. So it's going to be on Clem to micro his probes, to pull the boys, pull them back, and buy enough time for the Stalker. And here we go. Reaper goes in, Stalker's on the way. Clem, he does pull back. Stalker's getting low. And he may lose one. Oh, it does pull away in time. Again, nice control here by Clem. Oh no, he's going for the dive. Yeah, he goes for the dive, he gets one probe goes down, and with that, only one worker kill and denied mining, of course. But that could have been so much worse. That could have been so much worse. You can see how low some of these probes are. But overall, nice defense out of Clem. So better defense. From here, the game will continue. Kira going for the faster factory into a delayed CC. And from here, we're building up. Once again, Twilight Council out of Clem. Wouldn't be surprised here if he goes into 3-gate blink again. Just 3-gate blink Stalker into a third. And so far, this opener has been lackluster here for Kira. Now, he still has the Reapers and he can still find some damage, but Clem is being active. Reapers, they slip by. Making the way into the natural. Does hit the natural base, gets one. Can he get another? Looks like he will. Two probes with 2 Reapers. I mean, again, not the best trade here for Cure. A 1-to-1 trade is not ideal. And we're following it up with a Widowmine drop. Okay. First Widowmine drop of the series. 2 more gates, so 3-gate blink once again out of Clem. Again, no surprise, it's a very standard opener. It is the meta. So he's going to lose a handful of minerals just from pulling a little too much probes there. He does lose mining time, that is true. But Clem is still ahead. Like, Clem, he has a comfortable worker count. He's on 2 base saturation, building up his Stalkers. Sure, he does have quite a bit riding on this mine drop, making his way towards the natural. Boosting in. We've got 3 Stalkers in position. Clem does pull away. Ooh, we'll have a bit of miscontrol here. We'll lose one Stalker. So they'll lose one at the same time. Widowmine jumping to the main base. The final Widowmine. Oh, Jesus. The probes did clump up for a moment. But Blink is now done. Yeah, Blink is now complete. Oh, once again, an early Blink at a Clem, losing another Stalker. Okay. 3 Widowmines for 2 Stalkers. I mean, that could have been worse. That could have been 0 damage, by the way. That should have been 0 damage. But here comes the counterattack. Now back at home, there's 1 tank in the main base, bunker on the low ground. Only 1 tank though. Oh, sorry, there's a 2nd tank in the mineral line. Punishes Clem. Yeah, I don't think Clem was expecting the tank further back either. Takes a massive shot to the face. And Cure holds. Cure, he's holding on. The tank does survive. And these Stalkers are very low. Once again tries to dive in. Doesn't get the Viking. Behind this, Clem is getting his 3rd base. From here, the game is slowing down. Cure, I would say that he's done a great job here at recovering. So far, he's been able to punish Clem, pick off Stalkers, secure himself on 2 bases. 3rd CC is on the way, and we're building up into the mid game. We'll see if Clem can slow down the 3rd. If he can slow it down, maintain map control. There's going to be a big power spike once all these upgrades finish for Cure. So combat shields +1, concussive shell. Cure, he'll eventually break out. And we'll see what he can get done when he does break out. Clem setting up for his 4th. Fourth base is on the way. And here comes the Unsiege. Now Clemmy does spot this. The Observer's in position. Clemmy sees the 3rd command center. He sees the move out. It's on Clem to slow this down. Pokes in. Gets a Marine. Gets 1 Marine so far. Cure, he should know there's an Observer somewhere.
Additional supply depots required.
Where exactly? That's another question. As +1 is almost done for Cure. Finishing off for Clem. You see Clem getting ready for a backstab, but charge is done. His main army moves out. Here comes a Colossus. Clem, he wants to break the 3rd. Uh-oh. And the Cure moves out. Base trade. Cure is moving out. Clem, okay, he respects it. He respects the army. He's responding to it. Doesn't counterattack, or at least he does with a handful of zealots. Cure is pushing. Clem attempting to intercept. Oh. Runs into the army, losing 1 Stalker. Zealots are deflected. And the tanks run siege. He gets 2. Yeah, 2 tanks go down instantly. Massive pickoffs. Colossus moves in. Can he get into the final 2 tanks? It's getting close. And not quite able to. Colossus has to pull back. 2nd Colossi has arrived. But now there's only 2 tanks left. Oh no! Only 2 tanks remaining. Nice control here by Clem. Does micro back, saves a Colossi. Tanks do siege up. Focusing down the Colossus. Oh my god, does save it though. Yeah, once again, whole pick up micro out of Clem. Does lose a single Colossus. How much hate? 1 HP Colossus. No shot. The micro, Pappy. Clem, he holds. He holds on, Pappy. And he's barely holding on. 0 tanks left. The 1 HP Colossus. Aye. And with that, Cure is forced back. Cure is going to be forced back. Oh, a Bold Blink. Jesus. Bold Blink out of Clem. Calm down. That'll be down the Stalker. Behind this, Clem taking his 5th base. He has gained map control. Now Clem can mass expand. Blinks into the Widowmine. Again, Curie's had a couple of nice moments like this. Catching 2 Stalkers. Nice little wins, but when it came to the main engagement, of course, Clem was still able to dominate. Able to shut Cure down. And now Clem can get comfortable. Cure going for a 2nd starport, going to mass Viking production. The Academy is not yet on the way, so no Ghost Academy yet, going for the 4th CC. But again, Curie's contained, right? Like, that was his moment. That was his moment to break the 4th base, but we saw that Clem, he had vision thanks to the Observer. He was able to spot the move out, able to engage ahead of time, able to shut down the tanks 2 by 2. And the move out failed. So now Curie's stuck at home, and now Clem, we have a 2nd robo on the way, and we are getting ready for Disruptors. Speaking of, there they are. Disruptors are in production. We saw how well Clem was able to handle his Disruptors in game 1 on Old Republic. On the Old Republic. So Clem's going to be able to comfortably max out, take more bases, and it's going to be up to Cure to just turtle up. So this is where the dynamic of TVP changes. Once we do kind of end that first push, that first move out on 3 bases, then if the Terran player fails to get momentum, they're stuck at home, they have to turtle on up, build up their 4th base, get a 5th base, and max out. So Curie is just stuck at home. It's a very Marauder heavy composition. Jesus, how many Marauders? 25! 25 Marauders. But again, Curie's stuck at home, and it's on Clem to either break Cure on 3 bases or contain him on 3 bases and deny the 4th, right? Deny the 4th base. That's why you have a Zealot here at the linear 4th, and you have a Zealot here at the triangular 4th. If Cure ever tries to expand, then Clem should be there to stop him. And Curie just has to just slowly build up and perfect his army. As we have our first wave of ghosts on the way. We already have 3 ghosts as a part of the main army. EMPs are available. I believe that is a 3rd robo. Yeah, 3rd robo is on the way. You can see Clem getting a 7th and 8th expansion. Getting up to 8 bases, pappy. And Curie's getting his 4th. Clem should respond. Yeah, you can see Clem rotating. Clem, he rotates. Again, Clem, he should punish this 4th base. He's trying to rotate over. He does have a massive amount of Zealots ready for a run by. So Clem looks like this is mainly a distraction. Mainly a distraction. He does poke in towards a 4th. Curie getting in position. Zealots are making their way into the natural. Novas go up. Ooh, massive connections. And Novas do connect. Zealots, they do hit the natural. They're catching reinforcements. They bust into the mineral line, and Curie's out of position. Does get 2 Colossus, but the Colossus do not matter. Not anymore. We have more Disruptors rallying in. And Curie, he has to commit. Yeah, he commits out. Losing 23 SCVs. Where are the Novas? Losing 2 Disruptors. Miscontrol here from Clem. Oh my god, once again, massive connection. He takes the Novas to the face. The Novas are crazy. And Clem has done it. Clem, he has just broken Cure. He breaks the main army. He breaks the economy as well. Again, that was 23 SCVs going down, and Cure, he's forced all the way back. He has no army to work with. Technically, Cure did get a 4th base, but at what cost? At the cost of his army and his economy. Now, Clem did lose like 3 Disruptors in the retreat, which was less than ideal. So he has a very low amount of Disruptors left, but he's got plenty of Zealots. And he's just going for the trade. Gets a Ghost. Takes out one of the Ghosts. Vikings forced to land. Ooh. So Nova does graze the army. And even if Cure holds here, and Cure he will hold, this is still a better trade for Clem. Like, Clem is just forcing a trade out of Cure. Clem, he just killed, like, what, 2 Ghosts? 2 Ghosts, he almost reset the Viking count. These are still better trades for Clem. And here come the reinforcements. What is really saving Cure? No War Prism, right? There's no War Prism, there's delayed reinforcements. Clem is warping in back at home. So it takes a long time to reinforce. But Clem is maxed. He's maxed out. And Cure, he's at death's door. There's a crazy army, no major connection this time, but I mean the connections that were ideal previously. It's already fine. Clem gets forced back. Clem is on 93 probes. Jesus. Yeah, and at this point you can just bully the army. The Novas are just keep being sent out. Ooh, bit of friendly fire. Bit of friendly fire, but it's fine. You could argue maybe too many disruptors at this stage of the game. It's mainly disruptor. But Zealous is still breaking through. And GG gets scored. GG gets scored again. Cure is broken, and Clem will take the series 3-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Clem. He does claim the series here. Again, I want to say that Cure, he had these big opportunities in all 3 games. In all 3 games, he went for a big move out on 2 to 3 bases. We saw them in the first game on the Old Republic, if you remember, where Cure should have killed the 4th base, but barely didn't kill the 4th. And from that moment, Cure, he fell far behind. So we saw that on the Old Republic. In game number 2 on Ruby Rock, we saw Cure commit on 2 bases instead. He went for basically a 2-base all-in, but Clem did an amazing job at slowing down the push, slowing down Cure, buying time for charge and buying time for Immortals, and then Clem was able to shut down the 2-base aggression out of Cure and just snowball from there. Basically just shut down the all-in. And here in game 3 we saw something similar. I will say that this game was maybe the best we saw at Cure, as he was able to get a bit of a better early game, picking off a lot of Stalkers and lead up to the mid game. That wasn't too bad from Cure. But when it came to his move out, Clem saw everything. He saw the entirety of the move out, so he had the luxury of engaging ahead of time. And remember, he caught the first 2 tanks on siege. Remember, he got 2 tanks on siege at the beginning of the fight, and then he was able to reinforce, slow the push down, and then get the final 2 tanks towards the end, having some amazing War Prism micro, saving those Colossus. But I can see a world where if Cure was able to preserve those 2 tanks and push with 4 tanks instead of 2, maybe he breaks the 4th base then and there. Like again, that was a really close fight that we saw between Clem and Cure when Cure was pushing to the 4th base. But basically, once that push failed, Clem was in control. Again, like once that push failed, that meant that Cure, he had to turtle up at home. Clem got up to 8, up to 9 expansions towards the end. I think he was getting a 10th base towards the end. He had full map control and was free to tech up into disruptors. And we saw some insane Novas out of Clem. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, Clem. He does claim the series, and with that, Clem, he'll advance on to the grand finals to face off against his next opponent. And who is going to be waiting for him? It's going to be the classic Pappy. Let's go. It's going to be a best of 5 finals between Clem and MaxPax. Again, they are 2 regulars when it comes to the finals of these Open Cups. Clem and MaxPax, they are very, very active when it comes to the online tournament scene. And they do very frequently face off, whether it's in the quarterfinals, semifinals, or grand finals. They do face off very often.